Hello everybody, it is me, Arrowhead, on October 14th at 9:41 a.m. in District Court Defendant Lobby number 4. And I'm back with more Ace Attorney 3. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So if you may remember from last time, basically what happened was, we went investigating and we found out that a guy's body was stuffed into a safe, and then we met Larry. He's not the best at his job. Anyway, he failed horribly, and we found out some stuff. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. Anyway, we're going to court with the evidence we learned, and we're going to use it to get our client acquitted, because I'm pretty sure the long-nosed guy did everything. So, not because he's a long nose, just that's just a characteristic. Anyway, hey, Nick! What is it this time? Making sure the audio works. Alright.
You won't believe how many people are here for the trial.
Well, it is a murder case.
What are you talking about? They're here for the trial next door.
Next door?
Why don't you know this, Nick? They're having Detective Atmey's trial today.
Detective Atmey?
They say they're going to try him as mask to mask.
Already? That was fast. It took one day. Man, that's... The guy literally got sentenced a day ago. Not sentenced, but he got caught a day ago. Well, hey, you know, gotta love speed. They're not wasting taxpayer dollars. I know. By the way, where's Pearls?
Oh, she went back home. She said she can't neglect her training anymore.
I know you don't like me. Pearls has really gotten into her training lately, huh?
Yeah, ever since that incident last year. Please don't ignore me. Oh, Mr. Delight, good morning. It's a delight to see you.
No one likes me. No one would notice me even if I killed someone.
Come on, don't be silly. Everyone likes Princess Leia.
Oh yeah, Revenge of the Sith. I should have done a Star Wars thing or whatever. I guess everybody does that, so... whatever.
Come on, don't be silly.
Wait a sec. You don't mean... You're the murderer?
No, I'm just a poor thief.
No, wait, that's not right. A thief can't really be poor. A thief can't be poor if they're really bad at it. Considering you were caught, I'm willing to bet you are. Now, let's see. According to Mr. Delight, from his second crime on, he was following a bunch of set plans. Plans that someone had been sending to him to help him commit the heist. Who I'm guessing is Mask to Mask, aka Look At Me, aka... Yeah, no, just Look At Me, but he has two names. That's it. Anyway.
You really think there's a connection between the thief and the murder, Nick?
That's possible, but today's trial is a race against the clock.
Huh? How come? Let's just take our time like always.
I'm afraid that's not an option. October 14th, 10 o'clock a.m. District Court, courtroom number 6. Never... Okay. Hey, Godot. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Ron Delight. Cool. The defense is ready, Your Honor. You're ready? Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Preparation is the last refuge of the weak. Okay, settle down, everyone. Let's begin your opening statement, Mr. Godot. He's got the judge in the palm of his hand yet again. Ron Delight is simply too young to be sent to war. That's all. I'm afraid I have no idea what that means, Mr. Godot. Then you need to get out more, Your Honor. Life is war. That is exactly what must be precise in your wording. That's all my statement means. You understand now, right? Yes. Well then, let me briefly summarize the details of this case. Oh, the judge is taking charge like he knows what's going on for a change. The victim is Kane Bullard, CEO of KB Security. His body was found in the safe at approximately 9 a.m. on the morning of the 13th. However, the time of death was estimated as 1 a.m. of the previous day. And that's when our little lost kitten dropped the ball. That little lost kitten is, of course, the defendant. Very well then, Mr. Godot. Please call your first witness. Slurp. I never drink more than 17 cups of coffee during any given trial. First one is always the best. Okay, can you call your witness, or... Oh, well, actually, that's exactly what he was gonna say. Mr. Godot, your witness? Okay then, let's hear what the defendant, Mr. Ron DeLight, has to say for himself. The defendant? Well, Mr. Wright, does the defense have any objections? It may be a bit of a disadvantage having the defendant testify, but... I remember when Mia was defending me. She allowed me to testify so she could do the cross-examination. She put a lot of trust in me back then. We have no objections, Your Honor. The defense will allow Mr. DeLight to testify. Ha! You got guts, Trite? Alright then, Mr. Ron DeLight, please take the stand. Ah. Oh, you did it, didn't you?
Yes.
What?
No, that's not true.
For a moment there, I thought we'd set the record for the shortest trial ever. Oh, man. You know, all these trials will be the shortest trial ever if you just believed in me. But anyway.
Well, Mr. DeLight already looks plenty guilty with that face he's making.
And once he opens his big mouth, he'll probably put the last nail in his own coffin. Ah, very well. Now then, you tell me something? If you didn't kill Bullard, why'd you go to KB Security?
Well, that's kind of hard to say. Boy, I wish I could go home.
I wonder if anyone can even hear me when I do the voice for, Ron DeLight. Now then, let's hear some testimony about what happened. My visit to KB Security. That evening, around 1 a.m., I went to see Mr. Bullard in his office at KB Security. Okay, that tracks, yeah. The blackmail letter I got, it ordered me to go there. I've been working for KB Security until a year ago, so I knew where his office was. 1 a.m., the exact time the murder took place. And that's all the thing I get to cross-examine. That's it? Oh, fuck. The weak get washed away by the tides of fate. The strong drink it up. The acidity of the waves of weak people is bad. Oh, whatever. It's bitter today, too. Just like my destiny. I kind of wonder, does he even know what he's saying? Does he even understand any part of what he's talking about? You never know that from the way he's chugging it down. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. My visit to KB Security. And I'll just press him on this, because I don't think any of this alone is, like, a problem. 1 a.m., huh? You're absolutely sure about that? Yes, that's what my watch said when I was entering the CEO's office. No, actually, I'm not really sure. My watch was slow and my internal clock was also... 1 a.m. The exact time the victim, Mr. Bullard, was murdered, correct? It's too late for a coffee date, that's for sure. You go for a coffee date in hell. Yep, ordered them to go there, but how so? It ordered you there?
It was the first time I'd gotten a blackmail letter that ordered me to go somewhere.
Does that mean you've gotten other blackmail letters then?
Oh, of course. They'd say things like, steal this or take that.
Oh, why don't you save those for later, Mr. Delight? Oh, please don't say any more! Now, what should I do? Press harder. It's never not the right option. So what did the blackmail letter in question say?
It said to bring $50,000.
Funny, huh? Perfect motive for committing murder.
Oh, but wait. I never intended to pay that money anyway.
Oh, is that right?
After all, he had nothing to hold over my head. I had nothing to be afraid of.
An important point indeed.
Witness, let's have that added to your testimony. Yes, sir.
Huh. A muddy mudskipper in outer space has a better chance of surviving than I do. Phoenix, you'll be fine. You're not the one going to prison. You know, take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Do I have that red diamond? Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna use this, but I'm sure I'll bring it up eventually. Let's see. Let's press him on this and see what we can get. Just what were you being blackmailed about anyway? Blackmail letter said if you don't want your identity revealed, correct? I'm sure it was referring to the whole mask-to-mask thing. I wasn't worried. Mr. Bullet didn't have anything on me. He didn't? Anyway, I don't care what anyone says about me. As long as Desi believes in me. So that's why Mr. Light didn't believe he was mask-to-mask. That's why I knew they were just hollow threats. Okay, I feel like I need to present something here to get him, but I don't know what it would be. Alright, yeah, that tracks. That was used at 1 a.m. Went October 12th at 1 a.m. Art in the photos were on Delight. I think. I think he might have this on him. Possibly, but I'm not sure. I saw he was stealing us directed by blackmail letters. Let's press him here and see what it does. You used to be a security chief for KB Security, right?
Yes, that's right.
Security chief? You? And yet, a year ago you were fired without notice. Revenge for an old grudge? Perfect motive for murder, wouldn't you say? This isn't good. Maybe you should change the subject? Fired without notice. Mr. Delight, please tell us why you were fired from your job.
Well,
The world is filled with those who have said, I wish I had never asked that. Okay, then I take it back. Defendant, please answer the question.
I needed money.
You needed money?
Well, you see, Desi loves suspended. It's kind of her hobby. Not exactly the best hobby in the world, huh, Nick? My salary wasn't nearly enough, so I stole data from the company.
Come again?
AB Security has lost security info on all sorts of companies. And since I was security chief,
You stole some data and sold it.
Mr. Bullard found out and I was fired immediately.
What? I wish I'd never asked that.
was somehow able to keep it secret and, like, it made it seem like I'd quit on my own. What is it, Nick? You don't look so good.
Someone who brings harm to their company is fired as punishment. You do well to remember that.
Sure told you.
So you admit that you stole data from your company, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
This is a very important fact. Please add it into your testimony. Aw man, this whole thing just took a big turn for the worse. Crashed and blew up. It took the jaws of life to rip this case from the clutches of disaster. Hold on, let's keep pressing him on stuff. He's got to have, like, an out here. Why would you do something like that?
Oh, for Desti's hobby, what else?
Wasting money, huh?
It's not a waste. So Miss Delight doesn't know that her husband was fired, does she?
So it would seem.
I'm not sure what to think about couples who keep secrets like that from each other.
I can't believe it. This case has gotten even my head to think seriously about couples. Please try to stay focused, Mr. Wright.
There wasn't much to his testimony, was there?
It's like he's avoiding something. At least that's what it sounds like to me.
Uh-oh. Got a bad feeling about this. You'd better be careful.
If you don't find a way to make him spill the beans, we'll never get closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this. Fast forward to the thing we have to make a choice and go from there. Okay, so that was the only option I'm allowed. Alright. He doesn't know about that. Kane's list. I'm trying to think, which of these works? It's criminals and cowards more than anything. Oh. Alright. Till a year ago. Knew where his office was. Okay. We're good there. We're fine. Didn't scare me. It wasn't going to cause me trouble or anything. I'll review his secret identity. That's been established in the court record, but... Alright, I'm gonna go for Hail Mary here. What if I present his wife, because she hates criminals and liars, because that would prove that it would cause him trouble. There we go! Mr. Delight, what you said just now doesn't match what you told me yesterday. Huh? What doesn't... I think you must have been scared. Very scared. Of having a certain person find out your secret. A certain person... Miss Desiree Delight. Miss Desiree Delight. The defendant's wife.
What would I have... Listen to me. My Desi, she's...
Looks like if I just sit back and relax, the fun will end before it truly begins. Godot. Yes, we know. It was all your wife's fault. What do you mean? Mr. Delight stole company data to pay for his wife's spending habit, for which he was fired. Unable to face his own wife, someone used his dirty little secret to blackmail him. And that's how this murder came about. Oh. No! Everything is falling neatly into place for him!
Don't talk about my Desi like that. Or you'll be sorry.
He's gonna do like the windmill arms thing that people do when they don't know how to fight. I don't know. The thought of that's kind of funny. Then Godot just like pulls out a katana or something like that. He looks like the kind of guy that would own one. Anyone who wears a mask like that to court is, yeah. That we've learned a great deal of things here so far. Well, it seems that we've learned a great deal of things here so far.
What do you think, Nick?
I think it was possible to get so thoroughly whipped in just 20 minutes. Clearly, there was sufficient motive for murder. He stole data for his wife and he killed to protect his secret. Family man who cared just a little too much. The motive is clear. Let's move on. Happened at the crime scene at 1 in the morning, Mr. Delight. Come now, tell us. We're all ears. Okay, at the CEO's office. What do you got? When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Alright. Suddenly, I was hit on the forehead. After that, I remember being a bit dazed. If I hadn't been wearing that, I would have been killed. When I came to, Mr. Bullard was lying there, dead. I see. Suddenly hit on the forehead, huh? I believe the detective from yesterday provided a similar testimony. He said that Master Mask struck him on the head from behind. Of course, since Atme turned out to be the culprit himself, that was all a lie. Unless both are true. Ah. No one's gonna believe a pathetic lie like that.
What are you saying? I really was attacked.
We'll find out if what you say is true or not during the cross-examination. Got that, Mr. Trite? Don't just go easy just because he's your client. I see any sign that you are, I'll treat you to another cup of my special blend. You don't need to worry about that, Mr. Godot. I have faith in Ron. I know he didn't do it. Having faith and knowing are not necessarily the same thing, though. Granted, it's likely he didn't do it, given that this is an Ace Attorney game, but... Ow. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. Suddenly I was hit in the forehead. Okay, yeah. Who was this suspicious shadow? There were 1,000 of me, and even one knew, I'd tell you. Trust me. His dodging all of our questions is not helping us win his case. Okay, then how was the victim, Mr. Bullard, at that time? What do you mean by how was he? Was he already dead? Was he still alive? Maybe he was the one who hit you in the first place. That's a good question. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I mean, I'm just saying, like... This guy... I don't think he's ever heard of a court case in his life. Not Phoenix, the Ron. I'm just saying, it's like, he is not doing it. I guess he just legitimately thinks he's guilty. Which is weird. Forehead? Yes, I was hit on the forehead as soon as I entered the room. It was an amazingly fast and powerful attack. Do you remember anything about who hit you? Well, like I said, it was a powerful and fast hit. It was a fast and powerful hit. I think I was a little dazed for a while. I don't think Mr. Delight even grasped what you were asking. Yeah, I'd like to show him a fast and powerful attack myself. Maybe that would knock some sense back into him. What do you mean by that? That? Could you please clarify what you are referring to?
Why, my Mask to Mask costume, of course.
Wait just a moment. Mask to Mask?
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? Just to be on the safe side, I dressed up as Mask to Mask. And then I descended upon the room of the office of the CEO of KB Security.
What?
Nick, did you know about this? You never told me this.
I don't recall him ever mentioning it to me either. Even I didn't know that. Seems our little friend really loves to keep his secrets.
I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. Wait, that's not right. You know sometimes things just slip your mind.
This guy is mumbling. Ah, my sixth cup of coffee is staring up at me coldly.
What?
Because it cooled down too much because you didn't drink it, or like... At any rate, we can't ignore this new piece of information. Witness, please correct your testimony. How can I see his mask-to-mask costume so I know it's right? Why are you dressed up as mask-to-mask?
Why, because I'm Mask to Mask, of course.
What are you talking about? Mask-to-mask's trial's being held next door.
Yes, I guess so. Anyway, at that time, thought I was being blackmailed over the Mask to Mask issue. So I thought I should go with him just to be safe. Oh boy. I tell you, the real pain to move around with that cape. That's why it took a lot longer than I expected.
A lot longer? What is he talking about? Gotta be press harder. I think. What do you mean by took a lot longer?
Oh, opening the safe, of course. My cape got caught on the safe door, as you see. This all happened when I was hiding Mr. Bullet's body.
Wait, what? What was that? Back up a second.
Yes?
You were the one that hid the body in the safe?
Well, yeah.
Inconceivable! Well then. Why? Just why? What reason could you have? What were you thinking? Question. When does someone toss their dirty shorts in the washing machine?
When they're covered in mud?
Or blood? Or some bodily fluid here therein? What? The answer is simple. I take them off. Kiddo, just, man, don't cook. Don't let this man cook. Don't let him talk. Shut this man up. As usual, I have no idea what you're saying.
Do you mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer?
You mean that Mr. Delight hit the body because he's the murderer? Ah! So you're not as stupid as you look.
His metaphor this time was really obscure.
Oh, man. Mr. Wright, you don't mean that you knew about this whole safe business, do you?
Well, yes.
Why am I the only one not in the loop here?
In fairness, he rarely is.
Witness, make sure you add this to the testimony.
Yes, sir. Oh, looks like a storm front is moving in over the Fairweather Judge. I panicked and hid the body in the safe. It took about 10 minutes.
Wait, hold on, I think we have something for this. Sworn. It was about 10 minutes, and he died at 1 a.m. I don't know, let's press him on this. Let's see what happens. Why did you hide the body in the safe anyway?
Well, because it wouldn't fit in the drawer.
That's not exactly what I meant.
When I saw that corpse, I kind of lost it. I thought, if they find his corpse, they'll think I did it.
Alright. I think you had a simpler reason than that. Because you killed him. That's why you spent 10 minutes hiding the body. I don't know, I'm not convinced. I would be convinced normally, but I'm not.
That certainly makes more sense.
Hold on. 10 minutes? What is it, Nick? I just had a thought. Under those circumstances, would you normally try to hide the body? Spend that 10 whole minutes doing it?
Under those circumstances? What circumstance?
Oh!
Hey, Nick, when his behavior was, if you think his behavior is so strange, why don't you present some evidence to you?
I got it.
That's it. I'll take a look at the court record and present some evidence.
Okay. I think this is it. There we go! Your Honor, could you please take a look at this record?
And what might this be?
Hey, Acheron, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
The record for the emergency buzzer that connects to the CEO's office to security.
If the button in the office is pressed, the security team is supposed to come running.
And according to this record, the buzzer was pushed once at 1:02 a.m.
What?
If Mr. Rondelite truly was the murderer, he would have ran away as soon as that buzzer sounded.
After all, a security guard would have been coming his way.
Objection!
That's how Godot sounds? Huh. It doesn't mean I can mom. Parents lost 50-50 on my brother. Oh my god. Parents lost a 50-50 on my brother. That's a funny way of putting that. Hey Galaxy, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Ah, so remember who we're dealing with here.
You probably had no idea there was security personnel in the building.
He worked there for years. Up until 1 year ago, my client was working as a chief of security.
There's no way he wouldn't have known about them. Who addicted to gotcha? Probably more of a gambling hackery. Oh, that's a big statement.
Objection!
Objection. But as it turns out, the guards never came.
That was nothing more than a coincidence. The fact that the guard was a pathetic loser who had just gotten punched in the face by his ex's new boyfriend wasn't anywhere in the vicinity was not something Mr. Delight could have known.
The Cyclops from X-Men? No, it's Triclops actually, which is why he fires 3 lasers instead of 1.
Okay.
Huh. Again, remember who we're dealing with here. It's a sure bet that Mr. Delight didn't even notice the buzzer was going off.
This buzzer was extremely loud. There's no way he could have ignored something like that. If he had been conscious, that is.
Conscious? What do you mean by that?
Oh, this guy's detonating. There's smoke coming out of his visor. Throw the coffee.
Fine. Let's hear your theory.
Recall the defendant's testimony. The moment he entered the victim's office, someone attacked him. Mr. Delight said he felt dazed. I'm willing to wager that he was knocked unconscious for at least a few minutes.
Unconscious? So he fainted?
That's why Mr. Delight didn't know that the buzzer had sounded. And that's why he thought he had time to hide the body.
So what are you trying to say?
Mr. Delight was knocked out and the buzzer went off soon afterwards. Now, unless my client was able to hit the buzzer while he was unconscious, it can only mean that there was another person in that room. That's right. Whoever it was, they knocked out Ron Delight and then pressed the buzzer. They were trying to frame him, most likely.
Order in the court! Mr. Wright, this is...
Objection!
This is preposterous! It was this kid! Ron Delight is the one who killed Kane Bullard.
Then who pressed the buzzer?
It was... the victim, of course. He pressed the buzzer when the defendant attacked him. He didn't die right away. He must have held on long enough just to push the button.
Except... Oh wait, that doesn't say instant death. Oh no. Oh boy.
So Kane Bullard sounded the buzzer himself. What is your opinion on this, Mr. Wright?
I need to prove that the real criminal was there at the scene, but how? I can prove it. The defense's opinion is this, Your Honor. This piece of evidence proves that it wasn't the victim who sounded the buzzer. Think. I would say the autopsy report for the most part, because...
Well, what do you think, Mr. Godot? Ha! I can hear it. The sound of a buzzer. Oh, it's going off inside your head at this very moment. The emergency buzzer of your heart.
Is it really?
Maybe just a little. Mr. Wright, you need to think more carefully. Oh.
Let me think. You said it wasn't the victim, Oh. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I don't know. I didn't think of that. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible... Huh. I believe this is the piece of incontrovertible evidence you were looking for.
The emergency buzzer? Is there some kind of clue on it?
Absolutely not.
Hey, come on now. Please give some thought to what you say before opening your mouth.
The fact that there are absolutely no clues is itself the clue.
No, I'm the one who's clueless.
Technically, we're all clueless. This button has no fingerprints on it. If Mr. Bullard had really pressed it himself, naturally he would have left his fingerprints behind.
Objection!
Ron Delight obviously wiped them off.
Why would he? A guard could have come in at any moment.
He touched that button. I know he did.
Why are you so determined on that, dude? The defendant, Mr. Delight, was dressed as Mask the Mask. And Mask to Mask always wears gloves. So doesn't that disprove my point? What reason could he possibly have had to wipe the button free of fingerprints? Yeah, then he wouldn't have left the fingerprint in the first place, Nick.
Order! Order! Order!
Would seem...
I've been forced to eat crow.
I don't know what that means, but I want to assume it's a bad thing. I wonder what blend number crow flavored coffee is.
Probably 3.
Godo seems like a weird dude.
However, if the real killer was there at the scene, why would that person press the emergency buzzer? Didn't they have run away without putting themselves in extra danger? What's with this awkward silence all of a sudden? Huh. Looks like you're fresh out of parlor tricks.
They're on to you, Nick. Just give me a minute to collect my thoughts.
It's playing the Find It music.
The real culprit killed Mr. Bullard at around 1 a.m. Mr. Delight just happened to waltz in when the murder was taking place, right? The killer clobbered Mr. Delight, then sounded the buzzer. Even the security was supposed to respond right away if the buzzer was pressed. Security was supposed to respond.
Time is up, Mr. Wright. Let's hear what you have to say.
Very well then.
Oh, ho, ho. You've got some guts. I like that in an opponent. Why did the real killer sound the emergency buzzer?
Well, it's simple, you know, think about it. They call the security guard, he sees Ron on the floor, that frames him for the crime, and gets the killer whatever they want from his office. The killer knew that if they pressed that button, a guard would come running. And that was exactly what they wanted.
Do you mean to say that the killer called the guard on purpose?
Yes. Although, as it turned out, he never showed up. Because he was getting his clock cleaned at the time.
That's a way to put it.
For a second there, I forgot what clock cleaned meant.
Huh, what a touching story. Saying the killer had a change of heart and called the guard to turn himself in?
Phoenix shaking his head meme. No, I'm not. When that buzzer sounded, there were 3 people in that office. The victim, Kane Bullard, who was already dead. The defendant, Ron Delight, who was out cold. And the third person, the real killer, whose silhouette is look at me, so therefore it probably will be him.
Hypothetically, yes.
Now then, in this situation, if the real killer made an escape, what would happen? The only ones left in the room would be the victim and Ron Delight.
Just gotta stretch my legs a little.
And if any security guards came running in at that time, they would think that I was the murderer. Exactly, trying to pin the crime on him. Yes, that was precisely the real killer's objective. To frame Ron Delight for the murder. But now how do we find the real killer? That's the question. That's gonna be the hardest part. Whoa! I almost respect drinking that much coffee for a spit take. You're wasting it, but kinda. Hey, Nezumi, aka Drugs. Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Hey, that works with the title, yeah. Welcome to the stream, how you doing?
Order! 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 It seems, I've been made to eat my words once again.
Actually, you've been made to do a spit take with a cup of coffee. Hey there, Aki. Mr. Wright, who was it? Who was it that tried to frame me? Wait a second. I'm the one and only Master Mask, so... Nick, you mean the real killer is... I'm gonna drag that person in here right now. But who is it? I don't have any solid proof yet, but think about it. The killer knew Mr. Delight's identity, and they also knew that he had been called to KB security that night. So the killer used him to execute a well-crafted plan to murder Kane Bullard.
Now then, let's hear your accusation, Mr. Wright. Who was it that framed Mr. Ron Delight for the murder of Kane Bullard?
If not for the fact that it showed his silhouette, I probably wouldn't have guessed him. But... Detective Luke Atme. He's the only one who could have done it.
Ace Detective.
Luke Atme.
You mean Master Mask did it?
Indeed, it was someone who you're familiar with. Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Master Mask at all. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Kane Bullard. Because we already won the other trial with, Ron. Double jeopardy, he cannot be tried for the same crime twice, so there you go.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime?
They're not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment.
Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. Yeah, but that's where the red diamond was in play. When Luke Atme confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom.
Of course, the detective was unmasked as well as Master Mask.
Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along.
To be found guilty?
Master Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Master Mask was Luke Atme's airtight, watertight, and unassailable alibi.
Guilty verdict as in alibi?
Well, hey, we got the reverse of that at the beginning of this case where he got pulled into this because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Connections between the two.
You know, it's almost time. For what? Look at me's verdict. It was a pretty simple trial, after all. We're going to stop this trial and stall that one. We need to do it now. Of course, assuming you have proof of that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atme's trial has indeed attracted the attention of the entire country. If we were to intrude and we failed to provide adequate proof of his true claims, Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal.
Am I really sure about this?
That's only good when your life is the ante.
I feel like there are other times when bets are good. Mr. Wright, I believe in you. Mr. Delight, So, please, I'm begging you. Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix. What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust.
Hey, yo.
That voice, it sounds like... Mia. Your Honor, the defense requests an immediate recess.
Huh. That's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atme to the stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
October 14th, 11:58 a.m. District Court Defendant District Court, courtroom number 5. Ah, fucking Max Payne.
Well, sir, Detective Atme? I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly.
Top 10 anime manga fights. Top 10 anime manga fights. Good question. Gon versus Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter was pretty great. Other than that, the Heaven's Feel trilogy, in terms of animation, had some really, really good ones in there. I'm not gonna say what they are, for people who haven't seen it yet, but like that had some great stuff in there. Other than that, I gotta say, in terms of like recent stuff, I think the final big fight of the Shibuya arc, and you should know which one it is, from JJK was pretty damn good. The one with, you know, Yuji and, the other ones. To avoid spoiling it for other people, but yeah. Even Nezumi's I put in the top 10. Oh, nice.
I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atme. You were the one who...
Oh, who the fuck are you? There are other judges? And why does he have like the avatar arrow for his head? Doesn't mean Acheron vs. Blade, doesn't mean Galaxy vs. Kafka, and Acheron vs. Kafka. Yeah. Gilgamesh and Enkidu was pretty great. Yeah. Hoping for more of that when Strange Fate gets fully adapted.
That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Atme.
Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, well, sir lawyer. Welcome to my courtroom.
Who's this hosiery?
My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law. And I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atme. Accusation? You accuse Mask to Mask?
That man is not Mask to Mask.
No! That is not Solid Snake!
He's just a ruthless murderer.
What?
We got the Canadian judge over here.
To be continued.
Yeah, no, I've had too many close calls to just not save.
Okay, let's keep going.
October 14th, 12:14 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 4.
My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive inside your heart.
Nicky boy!
Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? Well, to be honest, we don't have any definitive proof. He's the only one who could have done it.
But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? I think any fight in Nezumon could be better than Nezumi and Galaxy versus Kafka just because it was really good. Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't get around to that at some point.
Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. And find some solid proof.
Stupid. Yeah, I know. Me too.
It's gonna happen sooner rather than later.
Ah, shit, it might be fucked. Huh.
Yeah, you'd lose.
Nah, I'd win. Yes, I lost. We exist.
October 14th, 12:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 6.
Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand.
Well, well, how do you do, sir lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly.
Couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Mask Damask.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I've been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on in here.
You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? That's me already knew Acheron would heal because certain Arceus would regenerate in arms, so that's why he was so calm when Acheron got divided. Okay, that makes sense. Being tried as Master Mask.
Indeed. It's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example.
Calling it right now. That is absolutely gonna come up later with this thing.
So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask. Of course.
Well then, Luke Atme, let us begin with this simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Where were you at that time?
One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Edward, look, yeah. No, Monday. Not Monday, yeah. Indeed, and hey, you know what's Tuesday? Something special. But anyway.
But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge.
Thanks. All right, Mr. Atme, the night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears.
As you wish, Sir Prosecutor.
The alibi.
I was sealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would.
The first Arrowhead stream of the week. Yeah, it is. Start your week off right with me doing strange voices about guys that look like this.
I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same as the murder. Not quite.
It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime scene. Everything else up until now was all part of his plan. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. There has to be a secret to this picture as well. Guys vs. Cosmo had started Nezumi's manga. I thought it was an underrated fight. Early fights are pretty cool.
Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive.
Not just yet, little guy. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination.
A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool.
Are you friends with Francesca?
I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick.
The only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Or the only thing I'm full of is truth, is probably what I would have said. The alibi. Stealing the urn.
tracks. One more time to prepare. Run versus Silver. Yeah. So, by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence here, is that correct?
Indeed it is. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed the crime.
The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose.
Objection!
He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that.
Indeed. But not that there was no such thing as the perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad, blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. It's truly the killer. There's gotta be something phony in that photo. Not entirely true on this front. About the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come now. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Eh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? All bubbles and thinks. Are lesbians just naturally strong or what? Yeah, no, it's like a power from birth. Lesbians are strong.
I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lord Lee Taylor. On top of that, it was Lord Lee Taylor's staff that printed that picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered.
I see. I think I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So, this alibi is false? Has to be. We couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB security. But not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. The photo itself is probably real, so... This photograph is the proof, correct?
Indeed it is.
And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I am called Mask to Mask. But conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who this really is.
What do you mean?
Objection!
Huh. You saying that this is not in fact Luke at me?
I mean, how would he fit his nose into that thing? Doesn't also becomes S rank. Oh, nice. The power of drugs.
But it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask to Mask to create an alibi.
Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? If Luke at me was at KB security during the murder, then the Mask to Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had an accomplice.
Now I remember you said that, Mr. Trite, because there's no going back. Making baseless claims, I'll treat you to the penalty myself.
Penalty's probably boiling hot, too.
Who is it, Mr. Trite? Who is the accomplice?
Well... I don't think it would be Adrian. Larry seems unlikely. It was this person. Playing Doom 2016 right now.
Ah, that's quite the prank you're trying to pull. You have any evidence that this person is, in fact, the accomplice?
Well, the aura that this person has around them is...
If you're going to judge someone by their aura, you'd better be right up there as the #1 suspect, Mr. Wright.
I'm surprised. Doom 2016 is pretty great. The person on in that game have nothing in common. Yeah, no, that's it. Probably. I jumped the gun on that one. I don't know who the accomplice is yet, then. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point?
That's right.
That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Dorothy Taylor 10 days before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There's no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target.
I see. You really are evil, aren't you?
Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, is there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? If the urn was stolen from Dorothy Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It's kind of odd. I'm trying to think, do I have anything that shows something to the contrary? When you dropped the urns box 2 weeks ago, she also knocked over some paint. Wind box has sacred urn and it has pink stains on it. Wait a minute. Why does that box not have the paint? Like the Doom and Animal Crossing memes. Yeah, I like those memes. It was really funny that those two games came out like around the same time. Let's give the box a shot. Nope, fucked up. Medically easy job. When I was getting Animal Crossing New Horizons, I was like, no, I'm getting Doom Eternal, and they were like, what? We couldn't have altered the photo, that's impossible. Well, let's press him on this. Something funny about this picture? Yup. Implying that this picture is a fake? Bet I am. Definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. Something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night.
Very well then, let's hear what you have to say.
What about this photograph do you find funny? Funny part is right here. How did I not get this the first time around?
Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Oh, this case is getting interesting.
Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint.
Oh, just paint. And peach colored at that.
Blood to peaches. This judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. Till PS4 after Doom Eternal is finished, lol. Ah. I think Switch would be good for it, though. I think, yeah, it's a nice little console to have for that. Switch is just good in general, honestly. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse. It turns out that something should be there is nowhere to be seen.
Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains?
The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized that the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. Everyone likes Switch. Switch is the only console me and Galaxy have. Yeah, Switch is nice. There's a lot you can do with it, and granted, it's not like a really high-end console in theory, but like, it does a lot of stuff really, really right. Also, a lot of the exclusives a lot of the exclusives for the Switch are just nice, you know? I realized that the statue would be perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there.
Objection.
It's got an Oculus Quest as a console, which you're wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a console. It's also pretty, yeah, it's relatively cheap.
When I went there the day after the theft, the statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner.
Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally? Your Honor, this statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move that distance.
In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night?
Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it?
Well, Mr. Wright, you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved the golden statue on the night of the crime?
Who would it be? Adrian? Unless Gumshoe did it. But then I don't think he was there that night. Doesn't mean he has everything. Wow. That's pretty ballin'. Alright, let's see. It's gotta be one of them. And it couldn't have been him, because we're saying he was elsewhere. Knocked out and stuff. She's not the accomplice or anything, so... logically, I would say him. But I don't know why. The statue is none other than Luke at me. Oh, come now, sir lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions.
Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions?
It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? Reason for moving the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins.
Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue?
The reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Mask to Mask. Create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would have been exposed like a cheap film at a drugstore. That's why you had to move the statue.
A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. So where in the picture does this lie exist?
I don't know, actually. Like, here-ish? I think. Oh wait, no, it's the box. The lie is Mask to Mask.
Are you saying that this Mask to Mask is a fake? Ah. You know, I really wish you would start acting more responsibly.
Huh?
The current question is, why was the golden statue moved? What possible connection could there be with Mask to Mask's identity? Aw, buggers. The face says, "Oh, buggers," written all over it. Also, you're not English. Why are you saying that? It'll be for you. Ask you again, Mr. Trite.
Right here. Oh, somewhere around here. Fuck. And then I lost. Alright. Gwilty. He's been gwelted. Alright, we got some fast forwarding to do. Okay. I do not know what the single fatal flaw is. Maybe Doom 3 and Doom Eternal at some point on Switch. Wasn't the box, wasn't Mask to Mask. What would that have shown, though? Doom 3 and Doom Eternal at some point on Switch. Doom 3 is okay. It's fine. It's not anywhere near the level of, like, good as, like, Doom's 2016 Eternal. And I liked Doom 3 originally, but, like, then you play Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, it's like, oh, there's a world of difference. Yeah, dealing as you thought you would. Now, what about that would have done it? You only have, you only got game series you have full on, it's Danganronpa. Yeah, it's probably a good one to have for Switch. It's really odd. Wasn't it this that I inspected to get the thing?
Objection.
Or do I have to inspect everything else before that? Doom's favorite series. Doom has a lot of great stuff in it. Doom Danganronpa S. Oh, nice, yeah. I don't have that one either. Might have to do that at some point once I'm done with, like, the rest of it.
Objection.
Yeah, he doesn't have an accomplice. Which has to be a fake. There really was an accomplice, but right now I have no idea who it was. I don't have any idea who right now either. I guess his objections are just what that guy wants. There's gotta be another way, and I'm gonna find it. You have S. You have the summer version of Kyoko, Kokichi, and Byakuya. Huh. Kokichi and Byakuya, not sure about Kyoko, though. You bet there's something funny about it. Okay, so, not blood, it's paint. What would that have shown? And there's all this, so now there's the question of what exactly the hell else is going on here. Swimsuit Nagito. Oh, it's like a 5-star, yeah. One of the statue is none other than look at me. Let's see. Hold on. Remind me, where is this found? In the shadow of it. Okay. That's probably what it was. That's the fatal flaw. damn it. Okay, I still have 2 more tries, basically. God damn it. I'm gonna have to fast forward again. Wait, wait, no! I missed that! Whatever she was saying. Fuck, I missed what Maya was gonna say. The timer? Naturally, the line in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? How's that get proven wrong about... I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to KB Security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been Lordly Taylor this time. Wait, that was it? What's with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door?
Well, statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. It was placed there in order to cover up the paint.
Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place.
What the?
Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet.
Ah,
So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. What? What is that analogy? What are you talking about? I mean, I guess a cat could get its tail caught in a rocking chair, but it could also get it caught everywhere else. Whatever. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in his photo.
order! Order! Mr. Atme, is this true?
One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this?
What's that?
The data for the basement warehouse's computer. According to this, the camera didn't need go off at the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data.
Order! Order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. Promise to drink no more than 17 during the trial. Which means I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense is a very good point. Good point? So what? We are all but travelers on a road of infinite points.
I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points.
So you say this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make a match. It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied.
Which is...
that it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. Well, that's very true.
No, wait, don't fall for that, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Damask.
Yes?
There's no funny business interactions as mask to mask. Should be no problem with your telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn.
The Sacred Urn Heist. I first received the request from Lordly Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box, and zvari! It was then sent to the warehouse.
Your Honor, I'm lesbian. Shut the fuck up. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days beforehand.
Oh wait, but it's not actually worth anything.
I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
Hold on, is that what it's gonna be? Place in the box, kept out of sight. Hold on. I could have sworn we had something saying that it was actually worthless. Or at the very least, worth almost nothing.
At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
It's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the... nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Buddy. Very well then. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Nice. Sacred Urn Heist. Only that once in Doom 2016 so far. Nice. You were asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrian Andrews, is that right?
Indeed. It seems that they have heard of my sparkling reputation.
See, Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. Better watch out too, Maya. Put it in the box. You mean this box?
Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. And she wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me.
Huh. Interesting new tidbit. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before?
Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm for yourself. My security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers.
Not that valuable. You mean this calling card?
That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card.
I guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because that means knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Then no one else entered the basement warehouse?
Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. At last, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th.
And this is the photo that proves that, huh?
Indeed. To be honest, even if a photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much.
Hey, Nick, this photo is a fake. Detective Abney might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. It's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. If we can prove that he's lying there, we can wrap this up and put a bow on it. And take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? The detectives have been covering his tracks. Only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. They took this photo well before the actual night of the crime.
Right, then how do we do that?
There's one thing that Atme stated very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before we stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Because this is the one that's messed up.
himself until the day of the crime. I'm just gonna save really quickly. Fuck. Okay, how about... Fuck. He said he didn't see it till the day of the crime. Which is probably a lie. But how is it a lie? It wasn't this. Extremely valuable treasure, but it's not. It's worth almost nothing. For the first time. Fuck. Nope. No, don't save. And myself in like a permanent death loop. Alright. So we'd never seen it before. Then... how did he know he had it? That's the question, I guess, but... we know it was neither of the urn things that are good for this question. Fuck. I'm just not getting it. There's clearly a hole here, but I don't know what it is. Alright, let's see. So that had to... alright, this was 2 weeks ago. She knocked over the paint, right? He sent the calling card 10 days prior to the heist. He was contacted 20 days ago. Oh, there it fucking is. Mr. Atme, if you really are Masked to Mask, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Masked to Mask had written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now, that speckled here surely refers to this pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, that is true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Masked Mask could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains? And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. If I some train thing. Oh. Get better? Soon, I guess? I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Trite. The day the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, The urn was broken due to human error, or should I say an error-prone human. That's when the pink paint got on the urn.
Oh, you can't be serious.
And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means Detective Atme had seen the urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this fake photo was taken. And because this photo was a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder no longer holds water.
Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself?
All right, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for victory pose. Huh?
His 15th cup of coffee. Huh. That's so sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Master Mask. Now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point.
No, wait, don't fall for that too, Your Honor.
You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that?
An excellent point. I have berries to look for. Motive, Mr. Might. Motive. Might you, my merry murderous motive, manifest? Nick, he's getting his second wind.
If you prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have had a very strong motive for murder. The only one we've seen with any motive the only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, Detective?
Indeed. According to my own research, the boy's motive is clear.
Without a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were.
I'd be honored to, Sir Old-Timer. They're doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Oh boy. Luke Atme, had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Mask and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite excusable. The defendant truly believes he's Master Mask. That is why Mr. Delight sought fit to kill Kane Bullard. What truly a tragedy.
So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant? This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. A handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter.
What? Blackmail letter updated in the court record.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination.
I think I've got an idea of what it is. You mean this blackmail letter right here?
It says bring $50,000.
And the handwriting is, without a doubt, the victim's?
There's no mistake. We have an official report to prove it. But I don't see an address on this letter anywhere.
Address? Yup, that's what I thought. Okay, so here's my current theory. It was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment, yeah. But what if it was sent to Atme, and then he sent it to Ron Delight to trick him into going there? So then... Because remember, he's talking about the red diamond, which Luke Atme has. So...
This letter was discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place in time. The fact that there was no address is irrelevant.
wonder... What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant...
Yup! Wasn't meant for Mr. Delight!
Whoa, do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied?
No. Called it! I knew it was gonna come up later.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Detective Atme? Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's all right. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction?
I don't know what a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fists. Why don't you show us what you've got there, Junior? Standing here, I realize. Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show us the contradicting... okay, hold on. What was it? When your true identity revealed, the Lord come to KP Security at 1 o'clock a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. You don't take that red diamond you received the other day instead. Okay, so maybe this. Tear of Emanon, Jewel. Could be this, because it shows he's got a diamond on his finger. Granted, that's kind of like conjecture, but... Ha! Little 2-1 punch like that wouldn't even faze me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright! I think things through and... oh boy. Fuck! Alright, so I need to do a little bit of that again. Continue. Stolen turnabout, yes. There we go. Now we just fast forward for a bit. Where's the contradiction in the letter? I might need to press him a bit more. Okay. I mean, I get that the Godotas may not want to lose the case, but it's like, it seems kind of clear at this point that he could have easily done both. Let's not put him in a box. Like, he can be a murderer and a thief. Here's the 2016 the chainsaw charges thing. Yeah, it is kind of weird to think about that. But hey, let's get more ammo, so there's that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the thing I got... let's just press him here to see what happens. And who in the world is going to prove that? I will. Doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Kane Bullard, we were unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security. They were. In fact, I do have something that shows that. Nope. That was blunt. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Fuck. Well, that was a waste. We ought to save before I do these things. Alright. Sure. Mistook?
That's right, mistook from the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take in error. That wasn't what I meant. So who did the victim mistake Master Mask to be? Why, the answer is obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Why would the victim mistake the defendant from Mask to Mask? Don't you already know that? Svali, take a look at this newspaper. I did just show this, that is my fault. Oh, that's the famous Tear of Amanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the... Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant? That's me being fucking hyped that he gets to live on a train with two friends. Nice. Just a guy named Drugs and his lesbian friends. Living on a train. The victim clearly misread this article and Svali, he got the wrong impression. The impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Mask to Mask. I see. An unusually reasonable deduction. I don't really think I need to see the rest of this to know what to... Hold on. There we go. His real name totally gets with the nickname Drugs again. Okay, yeah. You mentioned that yesterday. God damn it, hold on. Just gonna speed this one up. Okay, so that is probably the way forward anyway. Placed in a box, then at the warehouse. Unable to see this the day of the crime. You lying bitch! You are a goddamn fool! He's short-circuiting. Okay, and now this leads us to this point. Calling murderer. Yeah, no connection to the... This is me literally watching Acheron and Galaxy in the same room, in the same bed. And he still doesn't realize it. That's actually kind of funny. Window. Well, he's about as sharp as the number 2, but he's got spirit. Anyway. Or rather than the number 8, but whatever. Okay. Then it's around the light. We know that. It was not to him, it was to you. Contradicting evidence in the letter. Wealth and bring $50,000. You don't want your true identity revealed to the world. Come to KB Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th and bring $50,000. Now, let's see. Shouldn't there be something saying that Ron doesn't have a lot of money? security guard, hates criminals and cowards more than anything. What is the difference here? What makes this different? I tried this did not work. First heist, guard in the photos, raw and delight. Found in Ron's wallet. Yes, 2-1 punch. I still feel like this is it. Let's try this again. He'll realize eventually. Contradicting evidence in the letter. I think. He was torn off clothing. We've already done a lot of this stuff already. So let's see. So nothing about how it was because he was trying to get money for his wife. He just keeps buying shit. I'm just gonna load, man. Fine. Yes, you did. Already did this, might as well. Okay. Hold this down, then we're good. Might as well. I don't think this changes anything, but we might as well. We know that already. That's fine. What do you mean by that? Oh my, I was certain you were already aware. Zvati! KB Security has a lot of security info on all sorts of companies. Since I was security team chief, I stole data from the company. Shane Bullet had yet to forgive you, young Mr. Delight. Which is why he sent him that letter upon mistakenly believing he was the thief. Here's a file we discovered in Mr. Bullet's office. Evidence that Mr. Bullet was receiving money through blackmail. However, isn't this a bit odd? Why did the defendant pay Mr. Bullet the money even though he wasn't actually masked to mask? On that point, it was an unfortunate bit of chance. Do you really think that story is going to hold up? That assertion is not merely my own, I'm afraid. What do you mean? I have a memo from Ron Delight's wife, Desiree Delight. Ronnie thinks he's masked to mask. Does it feel sorry for him? Please don't think too badly of him. Well, Mr. Trite. Is he trying to act like Miss Delight just now? Oh, the one time I should have done an impression and I didn't do it, or whatever. I thought he was actually pretty convincing, even though it was just his normal voice that I do for that character. Alright. Any of these add something? No, that's just your imagination talking. Come now, Sir Lawyer. I'm afraid imagination isn't the right word for it. This is a deduction. The result of carefully applied reasoning. Were you that careful reasoning for ourselves? It's a long story and better saved for another time.
Very well, another time.
So-called long stories aren't usually all that long. It's not my experience. You're gonna try and connect Detective Atme to the... You're gonna try to connect Detective Atme to the Mr. Bullard, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Hopefully it won't require surgery either. In that case, you also talk about the blackmail.
It's true.
Is that blackmail letter really... I got that. I know it's not.
I already pressed him on everything.
It wouldn't ask me to show the blackmail letter, right?
Unless... Wait, hold on.
Nope. Which wasn't it.
Oh boy.
Okay. This time I'm gonna try presenting the actual letter itself. Because that might talk about his diamond or whatever. Alright. Wait, it might not be. Nope, it is. Alright. So, 1, 2. We know this is it. We just have to find whatever the other thing is. The contradicting thing. It says, David Security at 1 a.m. on October 12th, bring $50,000. If you don't, I'll take that red diamond you received the other day instead. So, how does this factor into it? How would he know he obtained a red diamond? I already tried this, it did not work. I tried this, it didn't work. I tried this, and it didn't work. I guess this, maybe? Oh. Take a good look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the Tear of Eminon, the stolen jewel.
What about it?
The problem is this jewel's color.
Color? I'm not much for discussing color myself. Mainly because I see everything as red.
According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel was blue. However, in the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. I'll take that red diamond you received the other day. How was I supposed to link the two if I knew the diamond was red? Fucker, he has it on his finger.
Red!
Which means the red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the Tear of Eminon that Mask to Mask stole at all.
Objection!
And your point is, Mr. Trite? So were you trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for someone else? That's what you're trying to say, right? Right, Trite? That's what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright?
Well, that's what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yours doesn't rhyme. Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. That should have been obvious from the start, but alright. Naturally, it was you, Detective Atme. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? Look at your finger, dude. I've been personally involved in every single Mask to Mask case. And in the last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward.
A jewel?
Probably the one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote that letter in order to blackmail you.
Order! Order in the court!
Objection.
Order, I say! Seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite.
Oh, I don't like the way he said that.
Kane Bullard blackmailing Luke at me? Are you for real? Big Phoenix!
Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him.
Then answer me this. Blackmail letter contains the following passage. You don't want your identity revealed to the world? Yes, it certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atmey's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity?
Atmey killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep a secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atmey wanted so desperately to keep secret as an identity as... I'm gonna say... a blackmailer. Luke Atmey was a blackmailer.
Objection.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atmey. You're saying that Atmey was blackmailing someone else on top of that?
You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. The only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atmey. But Ron DeLight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. So did you start receiving we already did this a while back. Anyway.
Detailed plans, in which case that would mean Ron DeLight was actually Master Mask.
That is what we are claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. DeLight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atmey. Shush! Silence! Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? I get that now. How did you... You say that I, Luke Atmey, was blackmailing Ron DeLight? In which case I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Mask. Well, yes. Ron DeLight started receiving plans from his second crime onward, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed the first crime.
Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atmey know that Ron DeLight was Master Mask?
How would he have known? I'm gonna say this. I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It is a picture of you and Ron DeLight in his guard uniform. It seems that Master Mask didn't just disappear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid it in a bucket.
That sounds far too stupid to be true.
Correct. With tricks like that, he couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. And that's when you figured it out, Mr. Atmey. That's when you learned that under his mask, Mask to Mask was really Ron DeLight. Was he supposed to be Master Mask? Not only that, looks like he wasn't even an ace detective. I can't believe it. He was just a slimy blackmailer. What a fraud, trying to pass himself off as an ace detective.
Why, you? Dare you expose me like that?
What are you gonna do, kill me?
Why, I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective and also Master Mask. Why can't you understand that?
I'm afraid you are neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. You're just a fucking fool. You're a blackmailer and a murderer. That is your true identity.
Oh, why, yo? Good, I've done this all over. I tried to do something the opposite of the bad thing. It's all false. False is a good thing. It's really just so God, desecrate me. Come on, me. Ace detective guy, blackmailer, I'll get away. Let's make one laugh.
And he broke down. The end. It would seem we finally arrived at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme.
Objection!
Oh, god damn it, what? Go on.
The hammer that strikes too fast is no time to aim.
What do you mean? I'm already prepared to deliver my ruling.
Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge.
No, you won't. You're a lawyer. That's not... Whatever. You don't get much more in your face than that.
It appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite.
What are you...
It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't at Lord Taylor the night of the murder.
That's right. That's why he's the one who's killed Mr.
But... still one more thing you've yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered.
No way!
Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright?
This is it. This is the final round. I proved that Mr. Atme was at Bullock's office on that night. Honestly, I might as well just save right here. But can you really prove that?
Long enough, Mr. Trite. Want to hear your answer.
That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, and the defense can prove it. The defense can prove it, with evidence.
Are you sure? Huh. Don't you worry. I'll watch over you. As you break down and fall into pieces. Very well then, let's see this proof. Proof that Luke Atme was at KB Security that night.
Do I have any proof? I may have fucked up. Do I have any proof that was him, though? In particular. What proof was that he was there? Technically, this could be anybody. One trauma to the head. Do I have proof he was
there. Trying to think. Does any of this work? $1:02 a.m. in the CEO's office. Doesn't necessarily have to be him, though. No fingerprints on it. Which, he's wearing gloves, so why would it be? Looks like it was torn off some clothing. This is the proof. I know. It's very important. However, I got coffeeed. God damn it. What if I say I can't prove it? I already saved. I can't prove it. This is what I thought. But, if we hear more of this, Detective Atmy's testimony... Oh boy. Fortunately, that's as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That's what I mean. What? You've forgotten? Luke Atmy is here after we interrupted his own trial. He'll fail to prove that he committed murder. Now it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. Face his guilty verdict as mask to mask. No.
Well now, Sir Lawyer, it seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as mask to mask. My verdict will verify that. Just as Ron Delights will verify that he's the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness.
Order! Order in the court! It's enough deliberation over this witness. I can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is...
Don't give up now, Nick. We still have tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and...
By then, it'll be too late.
Huh? Why?
Double jeopardy. One of the basic rules of any court of law.
Double jeopardy?
Should the defendant be tried and found innocent in court, the defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. This is a fundamental rule of all courts. It applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atmy will be found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as mask to mask, which means he will be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullitt is concerned.
No way!
The fact that you are unable to prove Mr. Atmy's guilt of that crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullitt's murderer.
Wow.
Now there's nothing I can possibly do to win. Even if Ron is proclaimed to be innocent, real killer Luke Atmy will go free.
You cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of the witness. Are there any objections? Fuck. Can I hereby end the cross-examination of Luke Atmy?
Objection!
Here we are, Mia.
I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing and often makes mistakes as a result.
How did you...
Phoenix, raise your head up high. Have you forgotten what I used to tell you? A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice. No way.
Is it really that hard to believe? She's done this like 10 times.
Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia!
This is the true power of the Crane channeling technique. I'm aware. I know that it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now she's my mentor, Mia Fey.
Now, let's do this. But there's only more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, I can't cross-examine. Not yet. The testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but unfortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, this witness made a number of remarks. The loved one's not in the end after all. He's the true murderer. I will force my detectiveness. Yes, but these comments appear of no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that alright with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Mr. Godot?
Ah, nothing.
Oh, sir lawyer, looks like you're one step too late. If you think such falsehoods will do anything to me, look at me.
Let's hear it.
Huh?
It's true that the witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination.
Mr. Godot, what are you...
Very well then. Mr. Luke at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks.
The defense would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. I may have Mia's voice a little too high, but either way.
Oh, please give us one last bit of testimony.
Phoenix, this is it. This is our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. The last testimony. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lord Taylor. I believed to see about another vitally important job request. I had known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph ready. My brilliant deduction was that one informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction from the buzzer, which only sounded once. The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it. Which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing this mask outfit, which is why he left no prints. And the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Svati! Therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Except... This testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well.
The witness's earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily prepared. All of his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything.
But of course...
But how did you know about the emergency buzzer?
The police investigation documents went directly through me. And I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, sir lawyer.
You want to make even more trouble for us now, sir lawyer? I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance.
Hang on a sec, just one chance.
Seems the party's about to begin.
Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts... There is! That contradicts with that testimony. So it would seem... What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions. He doesn't have the entire outfit there because he's missing the thingy on the ascot. That's like metal. Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. You can't point out that a case-breaking contradiction, you'll lose. That's all there is to it.
Cup number 17. Last cup. Last cup of coffee. I like that song. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial.
I have to find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point it out without presenting evidence. It means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. Remember, you only get one chance.
Fitting, because I also only have one little blip in the life bar anyway.
Okay, let's see.
Not Lord the Taylor, yup.
We've seen another vitally important job request. He could tell us what that is, but we don't know what. Once it had the photograph readied. The true culprit was Ron Delight. Here he was there. Able to make a deduction about the buzzer, which only sounded once. Suppose I don't have any fingerprints. Why? Mr. Abney, about this last remark.
Objection.
Still don't get it, do you, Trite? This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement.
I'm afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. Because how would he have known he was wearing that? Mr. Abney, seems you finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder.
How can you say that?
Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Abney? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. Was that correct?
Indeed, that's what I said. My deductions are absolutely foolproof.
More like your deductions prove that you're a fool.
I'm sorry, whatever do you mean?
For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty.
When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as mask-to-mask when he went to the scene of the crime?
That was just a few hours ago. How come my thick stuff was looking at me with a cold stare?
Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention it before? I'm sorry, I just never had a chance to mention it up until now. That's right. The defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Understand now, Detective Atme? There is no way that you should have known about that. You were in the next courtroom being tried as mask-to-mask. So then enlighten us. Just how did you know about that piece of information?
Well,
Oh, come on! This detective must have known about it. He probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand.
And it's those chances that I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his mask-to-mask outfit. There was one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out.
Only one way, you say?
Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When he entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer.
Mr. Delight never saw his attacker. There's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme.
It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head.
So what are you implying?
Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? Now, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight.
Impossible. The killer was blind.
Detective Atme, you saw Mask-to-Mask at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Kane Bullard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Are we vibrating? Is he firing off in a rocket?
take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown.
That's the same line you gave yesterday. But I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. What an awfully complicated incident. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was, in turn, blackmailing Ron Delight. And upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. Then claimed to be guilty as Master Mask in order to escape his true crime. And to that end, he came up with this plan. He used the double jeopardy rule when making his alibi.
any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to besmirching the record of an innocent young man.
Again.
Besmirching with the title of murderer.
Don't ignore me.
Oh, I didn't realize you were there.
Why wouldn't he be?
About the verdict, I know you never committed any murder.
That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but... I really am Master Mask. God damn it, stop prolonging the trial.
Huh?
So thanks to the trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy?
Now that you mention it, I've been careless.
Careless? What do you think, Mia? As the defendant says, the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. The defendant can never be tried twice for a crime for which he was once found innocent. Then, Master Mask is really innocent? It seems so. For now.
For now? Now then, this court finds the defendant
Not guilty. Okay. Yay!
Objection!
Wait, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I still am Master Mask after all. October 14th, 3:35 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 4. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh? I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. But on the other hand, Maya seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Karain Channeling School? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to our mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Delight. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore, though, now that all this has happened. Come on, just be happy already. Maya, you've been cleared of the murder charges and got off as Master Mask to boot. Are we really gonna celebrate a thief getting acquitted of a crime he did commit? But in exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Mask? I did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree? She hates criminals more than anything. Didn't she say she hated liars or whatever? To think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always said how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have had any reason to stay with me. Thought she would leave me for sure. So that's why you became Master Mask. Yes, but it's all over now. Broken Bowl can never be put back together. I think they can. I think there's a whole thing about that called like Kintsugi or something. That's not true. Right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? It'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can. What? I can? I wish you would check with me first. So, like, even if a bowl is broken, there's always a way to put it back together. Oh boy. I don't know what I would do. I do not know what the solution here is. Fuck. Okay, what would reasonably do it? Always a way to put it back together. Oh, wait. Yeah. The sacred urn. Jessie was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She's always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. Ah, there you are. Mr. Light. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that, but, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you'd quit KB Security. Never imagined that you were really Mask to Mask either. Mr. Light, what are you going to do now that you know? You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast there's no way he could ever get away. That's a way of putting it, yeah. But didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act all cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. I remember her mentioning that before. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? I knew I was right about you. Every day I spend with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Thrills and excitement. Jessie. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy? Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red.
Mr. Nick, Mr. Maya, congratulations!
Talk about bad timing.
Mr. Nick, how could you, with another man's wife, in front of Mr. Maya? No, you got it all wrong! I'll never forgive you! Never! Ever!
A body has been discovered!
So just as the case came to a close, so too did my consciousness. Ron said, a broken bowl can never be put back together. I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of what was one that was put back together even better than before. Episode 2, The Stolen Turnabout. The end. Hey yo, now time for what I've heard is one of the worst cases in the entire series, which makes me interested in it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Arrowhead, your favorite VTuber android. My next stream is on Tuesday, as for what it'll be, stay tuned for my schedule tomorrow. Have a lovely morning, day, or evening. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. And goodbye for now. That guy is a scouter.